Welcome back to the shop. So in the last video, I didn't really quench the blade. Sorry, my phone ended too soon. That's my fault. But we're going to continue this with a part 2, how to grind a throwing knife. So if you want, check out the last video where I forged this. So we're going to go ahead and continue it, and we're going to finish grinding this blade. So let's go over to the belt sander, and let's get to it. So, as always, safety first. So we're just going to turn on the grinder, and we're going to start by going over the blade and just getting this all shiny and nice and neat. Once it's all nice and neat, we're going to draw our center line, and then we're going to grind basically away. Actually, no, scratch that. Let's do this. Let's grab some soapstone. Get our center line marked. Now that we have our center line marked, we're just going to grind away the edges until we get to that center. That's going to give us our bevel. So let's get to work on that. Ow. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm aiming for. Is just these edges line across the top with that forge finish in the middle. I'm going to move on to profile and grinding this. Then I'm going to start on the back. Once I got it all profile ground, I'll finish the back up. And then we'll go ahead and we'll finish grinding the edge rest away. And then we'll sharpen it. So let's get to that. Now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Once we have this all ground, now we're going to work on actually getting the edges. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Not quite done yet. That's kind of what you're looking for. That edge right there. That's what we want. So now we just got to repeat it on all 3 sides, because we got it done on this side right here. Now we just got to repeat it on all 3. So let's get to that. Okay, so we got this fairly ground down. Looks pretty nice. We still got to clean up these edges here on both sides. But once we get these edges nice and sharp, we're getting there though. I am going to say this though. Take your time with this, because grinding, especially if you're like me and you quench your blades before you go grind them, it's going to take a while, because it takes a while for the sandpaper to remove all that material. So I'm just saying, take your time. Practice, practice, practice. That's all it takes. Let's get back to this. take a break from this real quick. I think I just set my sander on fire. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of there. Yeah, I set my sander on fire. And that's why that's why you always clean your sander out. Try to get all the sawdust out of there before you try grinding metal. Okay, I don't think it set on fire too bad. Looks like blowing into it just put it out, so we're gonna continue grinding. Be safe. Don't be dumb like what I just did. Be safe. Or do stupid stuff. I don't really care. Back to this. Okay, we got it fairly ground down, so I'm just going to take it to the top, and we're just going to get rid of all this forge finish here, and then we'll probably take the Dremel with a wire brush, and we'll clean up the handle. So let's do that. Okay, I'm not going to go any further with grinding because this is going to be a throwing knife, so I don't want to grind it any thinner as I don't want it to break, so it's going to leave some inclusions. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but just means I need to get my material flat, just practice my hammering and all that. We all make mistakes. So that's going to finish up this video. If you want to see how I sharpen this, check out the next video that I'm going to be making.